Hi everyone, today we are going to study the topic known as influence of group, in which we will understand what is group and how group activity plays an important role in the organization. Man is a social animal and he doesn't like to stay alone. So he starts gathering with the people who have same liking as he has, and he starts being the member of various types of group. It has been believed that in the organization, group activities plays a very important role. It helps employees to be more productive and effective for the organization. Hence, in the modern organization, we can see there are different types of group performing different types of activities. Now, since we are talking about group, let us understand what is a group. Group is basically formed by two or more individuals sharing common objectives, achieving common goals within the organization, having interpersonal interaction within themselves, and achieve the targets which they are told by the organization. Now, few characteristics of groups are: it is formed by two or more individuals who has a common purpose or common goals within the organization, who has a common liking for certain activities for the organization, and who share the common interests for them. Now, so far we have understood what is group, and now we will understand why people join group. People join group because they become the member of the group and they get some benefit of it. We will understand what are some benefits of the groups. First is the affiliation motivation. When I talk about motivation, if I belong to certain type of group, it may be self-help group or self-development group or self-awareness about some groups. So that will help me to motivate myself, that will help me or give me strength that okay, if I am in the self-help or helping hands group, then I am helping somebody in a particular situation where they are in need of it. So that will give me motivation that yes, I belong to this group and I am very much motivated by helping somebody. Second one is the security. When I talk about security, it means if I belong to some type of group, I feel safe. I feel like I am safe because I am in that group. Next point is satisfaction of need. When I talk about satisfaction of need, it means if I belong to some NGO group who is helping people, needy people who requires help, and I belong to those group and I help people for that, that give me satisfying feeling that okay, in this situation also I am able to help people. So that feeling is a great one for myself. Then comes the self-esteem. When I talk about self-esteem, it means if I belong to some good type of group or I am helping somebody, it will give me a self-esteem that okay, I have reached to that level of my life where I am helping somebody in need. This gives me positive feeling. The next point is shared interest and goal. When I talk about shared interest and goal, groups are basically formed when two people have common interests. For example, there are teachers group or visiting faculties group or some other types of players group. There are more yoga groups. All these groups are shared interest groups where people have common interests in certain field and they form groups. The next point is status. When I talk about status, it means if I belong to some type of group, it gives me a status. People recognize my post in the group and all, and then they appreciate me because I belong to now that status or prestige group. Then comes the power. Once I belong to a group which is very prestigious, my power will increase because the members are supporting me. Goal achievement. When I talk about goal achievement, if I am into a part of some group which gives me opportunity to apply somewhere or something, my goal of life will be achieved because that group is giving me opportunity because I am a member of that group. Now we will talk about types of group. When I talk about types of group, I mean to say there are two types of group. First is a formal group and another one is an informal group. As the name suggests, formal groups are basically within the organization, formed by the organization to accomplish their task. Informal groups may be your friends group, family group, or the interest group which you have interest for. Now we will talk about two types of group which are in the formal groups, means made by the organization or performed within the organization. So first one is the command group. Now command group consists of the subordinates or the manager who directly reports to their upper level of management. For example, a group of managers who directly report to the head manager or this person who is in the superior level of the organization. On the other hand, task group. Now, task group are basically formed by the organization in which employees are given certain types of tasks to accomplish those tasks and solve the problem for the organization. Task groups are basically made by the middle level of the organization. For the lower level of the organization, employees are given tasks, made a group of members who can work and solve those problems. Now we will talk about types of informal groups. As the name suggests, informal means which is not compulsory, but you are in the part of it because you like something. So first one is the interest group. When I talk about interest, it means I have certain interest in certain type of activity and so I am the member or I belong to that group. Now it may be your yoga group, it may be your painting group, it may be your cricket group, it may be your spiritual practice groups, anything which you have interest on. On the other hand, we have friendship groups. Now friendship groups means a common friends you have. For example, we have college friend group, we have school friends group, because we all are in the same category or we all have the same characteristics, and so we form a group and we become the member of it. Now we will talk about what are different stages in the group. So first one is the forming stage. As the name suggests, forming means the formation of the group. You are a part of the group, you are being formed by the group and you are a member of the group. Forming is the initial stage when all the people have a common interest, share common goals, achieve common objectives, are in the group or the members of the group. Now we will talk about the second step known as storming step. Now storming is a step in which there is a conflict within the group. Once you are a member of the group, once the group is formed, now storming will come. Storming means there are conflicts of intra-group conflicts. Who will be the leader in the group? Who will lead the team of the group? All this comes. But storming helps to avoid all this conflict or solve all this issue, gives the self-worth feeling among the employees in the organization, and then you can start your work effectively. After storming, the stage comes is known as norming. Now norming is when all conflicts are sorted off, there is no problem within the group, you have a cohesive unit now, all team members have self-belongingness, they have common interests and they start performing in the group. After norming, the stage comes the performing. Performing means once the group members have self-belongingness, self-interest, they are working towards the organization goals, they are happy because they are the part of the group, they start performing in an efficient and an effective way and in a productive way. Okay, after performing comes the adjourning step. Adjourning means the task of the group is accomplished now, organizations are happy, managers are happy with your work, now you can break those groups. Now here comes the emotional trauma that okay, we belong to this group, we are very happy to be a part of group members or belong to this particular type of task, and that's why we have some emotional feeling when the group is adjourned. Now we will understand what is group behavior model. Under that, the first one is role. It is very important within the group, each and every group member understand their role while performing their activities. Because if the role clarity is not given properly, you may miss the group performance or you may hesitate in doing certain type of activities. So your role should be very clear by your managers or the organization. The first comes who will be the team leader or who will be the group leader within the group. So that is the first role, that the manager has to be clear that whom you have to report to regarding your work. Okay. Now we will understand what is norms. Norms are basically a standards, practice, accountable behavior which is expected out of you. You are given certain set of standards according to the organization. Within the group, you have to perform according to the standards or guidelines given by the organization. Then comes the status. Group has very important point known as status. Status is a prestige or position you have within the group. You might be a team leader, you might be an assistant to the team leader. Your role or your work performance defines your status within the group. Now we will talk about group size. It is basically presumed that small groups perform the task in a better way as compared to the larger group. When I talk about larger group, it might be the members who belongs to the group are more than 12 and small group may be 5 or more than 5. But larger groups are basically have conflict-like problems, but smaller group does not have that because the members itself are less and they only perform their task. Then comes the problem of cohesiveness. Cohesiveness, when I talk about it, is a problem because once you start belonging to a group, you always wanted to be a part of that group. And so a joining of the group becomes very difficult for the organization because you get attached towards that group and you have emotional attachment towards the members of the group.